What's up, gamers? Jem here. Yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Of course. It's another great show we've got for you, as ever. I hope you're all right. I hope you're all good. We're going to be doing a game giveaway today later as well, so stay tuned for that. But you must be subscribed, so make sure you hit that sub button if you are new here for a chance to win. We're going to be giving away a copy of Hello Engineer, which is, of course, a timed exclusive for Stadia. But anyway, hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yokoso, yokoso, yokoso. Arigatou gozaimasu for being here. Welcome. Quick hello to the chat. Lloyd's been waiting very patiently. Massive shout out to my hype man, MM2K. I don't know what he thinks I'm going to say tonight. I feel like I can never live up to what he thinks I'm going to say, because what I really want to say, I said in a private video to my channel members. If you want to be a member, you can hit the join. And I'm not sure I want to share all of that publicly. Quite controversial, I suppose. But it had to be said. But we'll come to that later. Let's have a quick hello to the chat, see how everybody is, ladies and gentlemen. Lloyd Hansen, as I said, ex-Predator. Jerome, always lovely to see you there. He's been playing Division 2. Let us know, of course, what games you've been playing in the chat. It's always very good. Division 2, Mortal Kombat and NBA. Quite sporty games there. Mortal Kombat and NBA there. Tea time, of course, in Pennsylvania. Hit the likes. MM2K, the hype man, is in there. Check out his video from earlier. Man, he was like, the preacher was on fire. He was on fire. I was just like rocking back and forth, going, hallelujah, amen, amen, hallelujah, with my fan. Whew, it's hot. What's up, gamers? That was what was in my mind when I started. Jem's all over the place today. Not like, oh, where am I? But he's like, I've seen him in the chat. Come on, Eddie. I am indeed have been watching a little bit of the Olympics, although sadly, we used to have, the BBC used to basically have access to nearly every event. So even though they might not have streamed every event live, you could go online and watch it on the BBC site or on they have a thing called Red Button, which was on the TV, and you could almost find any event and watch it. But then the Olympics did a big deal with Discovery, and it meant that the BBC don't have a small amount, which means the BBC can only show 2 live events every day. Compared to the fact that 4 years ago, when it was in Rio, we were showing at least 26 different live streams of events live. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. Danny Caro, thank you for the subscription. Much appreciated. Much, much, much appreciated. But yes, so we get the highlights. That's the great thing about it being in Japan. I can wake up in the morning to see if we've won any medals. So a bit of swimming, bit of diving, bit of long distance running kind of stuff. That's what we did on triathlon. And it's great to see the skateboarding as well. But we're not here to talk about the Olympics. But Japan are knocking it out the park on the skateboarding front. But there you go. Sednar, how are you? Good to see you. Stadia Noir, did I just see there? Oh, busy. Yes, Stadia Noir. Jem! Oh. Thank you, Jem. Very kind of you, sir. Throwing the money away, feeling generous. Did you get that? Did you get that Battlefront bonus then already? Yeah. Are you spreading the Battlefront bonus? Is that to come? Cloud Gaming Dad. Of course, check out Cloud Gaming's Dad, A to Z of gaming, where he goes through every Stadia game in alphabetical order. Dave, lovely to see you. Kumnar, sir. Dave and Kumnar, of course, have seen my channel members video and know what I was talking about earlier. Master S, hello, everybody. Hello. Crow Razine, of course. Cloudbusters, of course. Vivek picked up Legion. Of course, I have Ubisoft Plus. Haven't started playing it yet. There's so much to do out there. So many Ubisoft games, of course. Yeah, too many E numbers. Too many E numbers in. He was talking about putting stuff in his water. I think it was the E numbers he's put in. He's going to have a spike. Torres is listening. Good stuff. Good stuff. Mike, how are you? Had a conversation, nice conversation with Mike in Sunny Gaming's chat today. Lovely to see you, Mike. Thank you for being here. Danny, pleasure. Thank you, sir. Jerry, and of course, Proto P. I would have shared your earlier message, Proto P, but it's a little bit rude, but much appreciated, sir. Much appreciated. Anyway, hey, let's get on with the show. Games I've been playing, of course, still playing Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh my God, the more I play that game, the more I'm in love with it. If you can be in love with a game, I just, unbelievable. The journey I'm on, the turn it's taken. I could wax lyrical about that game and the brilliance of it at so many different levels, but I won't. But also, I bought One Piece World Seeker as well at the weekend. I mean, it was 15 quid. I mean, it's almost rude not to. That's like a beautiful impulse buy price for a game of that level or a game of that quantity, I'd say. So yeah, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, definitely. Lloyd saying here, for whatever it is in your currency, whatever, get it while it's at that rate. I checked it out. It's a couple of years old, but on PlayStation it's 54 quid. So get it now if you've not played it before for 15 quid. It's well worth the money. You'll have a lot of gameplay for that, and you don't have to know all the story or anything like that. So yeah. No, cool, Pro. I appreciate it, man. Anyway, started Borderlands 3. Yeah, it's a great game. And it's pretty good on Stadia. It has its moments. Some people have problems with it, I think. But I know, for instance, Lloyd absolutely loves it. Lloyd can talk about Borderlands 3 until the cows come home. He absolutely loves it, I think, if I'm very much mistaken. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I've kind of been playing. Played a bit One Piece World Seeker with my daughter because she's a big anime fan. She was aware of the anime. She's my resource for that sort of thing. So she kind of knows I have to sit through anime with her. I don't mind. I can't get into it quite a lot, but it's our kind of bonding time. She introduces me to new anime and we sit down and watch it together. So it's quite good. It's quite good. Anyway, let's jump into the news, ladies and gentlemen. Jump into the news. Let's clear the chat. Liam, lovely to see you, sir. Thank you. Let's get into the news. Quick one. Let's jump straight to, let's use my buttons instead. Right. Blog post time. It was quite a quiet week. It's been a quiet week, really, in the Stadia world, relative. There's a few things that have been pushed back. We know about that. It's that time of year when things are quiet, generally, in most industries, apart from the holiday industry. But certainly in the consumer industry, things quieten down a bit. But mentioned them earlier, 2 games. Chris Tales was launched from a Brazilian developer, but paying a homage to all the great JRPG games out there. I've not tried it, but it looks wonderful. Let me know in the chat. I need a drink. Let me know in the chat whether you've tried Chris Tales. And of course, World Seeker that I was talking about earlier, well worth checking out. As for the price, while it's at that low price, it's a lot of fun. The fighting's really kind of fun as well. The characters are amusing. You know, like I keep saying, what's that? You know, really cool. But for the price, definitely worth checking it out. And then loads of add-on content for Avengers Assemble here. And we'll come to Avengers Assemble. In fact, we'll come to it now. It looks like this weekend, and I alluded to it in the title, this weekend is going to be a free-to-play weekend, ladies and gentlemen. And the 2 games in question are Tokyo Olympics. Yeah, segue from the conversation with Eddie earlier there. Tokyo Olympics, which I'll come to in a minute, which I was really in the mood of sort of playing now the Olympics is on. I think it'd be a sort of fun thing to do with my daughter and my son and stuff. So, I haven't bought the game, but good chance to try it out, especially while I'm in the mood for it. And one game I've been wanting to try, which is definitely coming as a free weekend, because they said it was, and that is Avengers. So talking of Avengers here. So start your heroic journey in Marvel's Avengers All Access Weekend, ladies and gentlemen. All Access Weekend on Stadia, 9 a.m. Pacific time from the 29th of July through to 8th. The dates are the wrong way around. 2nd of August. To get my mind into the American dates there. American dates. Anyway, so I've always wanted to sort of play Marvel's Avengers, but I sort of hear mixed things about it, and I'd like to try it myself. And this is the perfect time to do it. So I definitely will be diving into a bit of Marvel Avengers, because I know some good DLCs coming up, the Black Panther DLC, and plus all those add-ons they talked about last week in the blog post as well. So yeah, definitely give it a go. Hey, it's not going to kill me. So let's give that one a go. Now, the other game, as I said, is Tokyo Olympics, although I'm not sure it's officially announced. Now, I first came across it because of a tweet by Eli here. So Eli had tweeted out he'd got an email. I'm not sure he should be sharing his email on Twitter, but he did. So I'm going to share it here. It's in the public domain now, Eli, saying that he'd been accepted for crowd play beta. So as you may or may not be aware, Stadia are rolling out crowd play beta. So this is an opportunity for you to use the join button on YouTube when you can stream the game live on YouTube. And you get a little join button, and people can click that button, and then they get into a queue to join you in the game. And it's one of the brilliant integrations that Stadia has with YouTube, and in the future will be a real push for Stadia. When you get big YouTubers streaming a game on Stadia with a crowd play kind of button on there and all that kind of stuff, it's going to be pretty impressive. Anyway, so he got this email here, and it said, where is it? Pro subscribers, don't know if you can see that there, pro subscribers will be able to play for free between July the 29th and August the 2nd. So, Stadia haven't actually announced it yet, but there it is. And Sunny Cloud Gaming also announced it in his video today that he'd had a similar email. I've applied for crowd beat and I haven't got it. I think Lord Kensal should apply. I think he's more likely to get it because he streams games on his channel. I don't really stream games on this channel. Lord Kensal streams, and I applied as me. What I should have really done is got Lord Kensal to apply. So I might reapply, or no, I might get Lord Kensal to apply for crowd play beta. I think this is a perfect time to be doing this, really. Not just with Avengers, it's always very good, but with the Olympics, because the Olympics is in the conversation. Just anecdotally, I felt in the mood for giving it a go, something for a laugh while the Olympics is on. I thought, actually, I wish I had Olympics. I wish I'd bought Olympics, which is exactly why it's a perfect time to market the game, for Sega, but also because I imagine lots of YouTubers will be playing it, but to also push the crowd play aspect of it. And that's that whole kind of Stadia marketing sort of kicking in there. We're seeing it with the marketing they're doing with, LG TVs, Lenovo, AT&T, plus the YouTube activity they're doing with these sort of crowd play and pushing that out, plus the business models that they're changing with Stadia Pro and all that kind of stuff. All these things are linking together and there's a real kind of push. So really exciting. Yeah, some people have got free games as well. Those that are accepted around this time around got free games, but those that were accepted previously, like Cloud Gaming Dad here, didn't. So yeah, that's a bit, you know, I think they should give it to everybody who did it. Did you get something free last time when they did like Mortal Kombat or whatever it was they were doing? But you think they could share the love a bit. You know, I guess it's a free weekend though, actually. So actually it doesn't make any sense. In fact, that makes it even more perfect. They can get crowd play out to as many people as possible. And all the ones that have already got it. And it doesn't matter if they don't have Olympics because it's free to play this weekend anyway. Perfect. Perfect. All these people in crowd play. Not fair. Not fair. Right. Lord Kensal. Put your toys down and get applying. Jesus. Right. Anyway, so that's really exciting. 2 free play weekends coming up this weekend. So I'm sure Stadia are going to be all over that this weekend, announcing it in their blog post. So we can expect a fairly full blog post, I think, this week. That's the exciting thing to look forward to. Look, Lloyd as well. No free games. Anyway, so I'm pretty certain. Anyway, it's definitely coming. People have been saying it who've got their emails. Sonny said it. Eli said it. And those in crowd beta this time around got free copy of Tokyo Olympics as well. So all good. But very excited about this weekend. Let me know. Let me know, you know. So that doesn't make sense. Figured they'd want you to test it out on the platform with a free game. Yeah, but the point is they're making the game free for everybody anyway. Well, for Stadia Pro members. But yeah, it would be nice, sweet to hand it out because not everybody's Stadia Pro. So maybe you have a point there, Imran, actually, because I think the free weekend is just for Stadia Pro for the Olympics. If we have a quick look at whereas for Avengers, I think it's for everybody. Yeah. I don't want to subscribe Avengers, not yet. So yeah. Yeah, it does seem a bit weird actually. But anyway, a great opportunity to showcase crowd play and all of that. So yeah, good on you, Stadia. And the faster they roll out Stadia Play, the better really. Poor old Dominic says all the free weekends happen on weekdays. Well, yeah and no, but I guess it's to it's to add value to the Pro package. I get where you're coming from. It's not really free, is it? But it's to add overall value to the Pro package, which is something Stadia, you know, wanting to do and stuff like that. Anyway, let's get on to new games. So some new games have been announced. Well, one new game has been announced as well. Whoopie-doo, just the one. Yeah, just the one. Where is it, ladies and gentlemen? Heist Simulator, ladies and gentlemen. Heist Simulator. Let's go full Monty there. From No More Robots. So in this game, you basically do heists. You plan out the heists, bit of sneaking, work it all out. I guess a bit sort of Hitman style, creeping around. And you can also build your own heists as well and presumably share them. I wonder if it'll have state share. Does anybody know? But that would be good to be able to share the states because you can build your own heists. But it looks quite an interesting game. Look, here's the building mechanism by the looks of thing going on here. Yeah, with a bit of design element. There's a bit of crater sort of element to it. But a really interesting game, the fact that people can design their own design their own heists, as it were, and things like that. So, yeah, so that's officially announced. I don't think there's a date on it yet. Let's close that down. But I'm sure, again, look out in the Stadia blog post this week. I'm sure they'll be mentioning it in those blog posts. Along with the Stadia Pro games, people, don't forget Stadia Pro time, isn't it? Tomorrow, more than likely, will be the Stadia Pro games for August. Start putting them down in the chat, what you think they might be. Lloyd Resnick, it would be awesome if it states share. You'd think it's crying out for it, isn't it? Absolutely crying out for it. Look at this heist I've set up. Why don't you try it? Perfect for it. Absolutely agree, Lloyd. Absolutely agreed. Now, new games rumored. So this is file under rumor. A new game. So we say rumor because it's been certified. It's completely mad. It's been certified under the ESRB ratings. Here it is. Just so you know. The Falconeer. Under the rated here for the Entertainment Software Ratings Board. Windows, PC, Stadia, Xbox One, Xbox Series. So, usually, games that have been rated come out. We're still waiting for some. Yeah. We're still waiting for some. Yeah. Yeah. But it's been rated. And so that we can look forward to that. But we're keeping it in the rumor section. It's not officially announced, but come on, people. What is Falconeer, people? What is it? What is it, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I'll show you what it is. Excuse me there. This is Xbox. Get away. Here's some game footage from Falconeer. So it's a sort of flying shooting game. I'm not very good at flying games like the Chorus that's coming out. Chorus game. But basically fly on a giant falcon and you fire at warships, pirate boats, and other... You have dogfights. Although in fairness, that sounds a bit weird. They're bird fights. Bird fights having a dogfight. There we are. Very strange. But it looks quite interesting, and the worlds look pretty, interesting as well. The world design and the overall kind of concept, a bit sort of, not quite steampunky, but pirate punky. Does that make sense? Anyway, very interesting. It visually looks really cool. So high hopes of what it's going to look like on Stadia. Let me know. Let me know if you look. Was that a giant crab? Giant crab. Yeah. Anyway, I'd not heard of it before, but it looks a really interesting concept. Although, as I said, when it comes to flying games, I tend to get my axis wrong. So I put, when you push down and go up, or pull up and go down, and I get all confused and back to front. But anyway, let me know. Cloud Gaming Dad says looks like a bird of prey simulator, sort of. Stages of Lost Ark, says Cloudbusters. Yoshida's been playing badminton. She just wanted to share that with me. I know, Yoshida. I've seen the pictures. Right. Now, in terms of games not coming out. Oh, no. That's it. Stadia's... That's it. Off we go. It's all... pack your bags up. Pack your bags. Throw your controller out the way. It's finished. It's over. I'm saying it's done. Stadia's done now. Yeah, done. Right. Games not coming to Stadia, ladies and gentlemen. Courtesy of Stadia Source. Thank you, Stadia Source, for your onward reporting and collating of the various Stadia news in one handy source to make my life a lot easier. For Honor is not coming to Stadia as previously reported. So the background to this, of course, is that in quarterly earnings report, Ubisoft listed a whole lot of games that were coming over the next sort of couple of quarters. And there are a lot of Stadia games. You know, most of the games are all coming to Stadia. One of them was For Honor, although it did strike me at the time as odd. I just have a feeling about certain games like For Honor and Battlefront and Fortnite. They don't sort of, I don't think they sort of fit into the, I think they'd be perfect for Stadia, but I just don't think from a publisher point of view, it's necessarily the right time. Plus it's an old game. So I did think it was weird at the time that it was coming, because it seemed to be separate from the other games, if that makes sense. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I have the same feeling about Battlefront and things like that. Anyway, For Honor is not coming. There was a mistake, and we can confirm that For Honor sadly won't be coming to Stadia, Ubisoft spokesman said. Okay? That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It was a mistake. Oh, look, I forgot to do my joke about stop sniggering. It is episode 69. Children. Yes, I know. I'm fully aware what episode number it is. Grow up. My son would be laughing now. Anyway. Don't want to see that. Right. So, yes, Ubisoft basically announced it was a mistake. Bank error in your favor. Collect £200. Yeah. This just looks like someone messed up the presentation. Yeah. As I said, I thought it was always odd, personally, just my feeling that title stuck out for me anyway as being a bit odd. It would have been great if it was coming, but I just thought, because it's like a service level game and it's quite old. So I was surprised, to be honest, it was included with everything else at the time. I know there's some old games, but they're sort of story driven based games and stuff that are coming out. You know, more the Assassin's Creed stuff and things like that. But as I said, it looks like a simple clerical error, right? Nothing more. All right? That's it. I'm sorry. Sorry, it's that simple. Sorry, there's no big conspiracy. I'm sorry, it's not like, oh my God, what does this mean? Doesn't mean anything. Just a mistake. Yeah? So if you see any stupid speculation and then a long conversation based on that stupid speculation, as I saw in Reddit this weekend, oh, it got me mad. Got me mad. It was ridiculous. Shut it down. Yeah? Not Reddit. But those stupid conversations based on speculation. It looks, on the face of it, a simple error in a document. Yeah? In a statement. Things don't have to be any more complicated than that. Yeah? No conspiracy. No panic. Oh my God, what's it mean? Why have they cancelled the game? Maybe, and this was, I better not even shed any light. Shall I just say what really got me on Reddit? I can't, it's so stupid. It was so dumb. And yet it went on for ages, this conversation, based on this ridiculous speculation. Anyway, I'm not going to go there because it was stupid. The point is, it's a simple clerical error. That's the most likely reason. That's the most logical reason. End of. No need to go in any further or make up some kind of stupid conspiracy. That's the thing with conspiracy theories. They're more complicated than they need to be. Often the boring truth is the simple truth. The simple truth is the boring truth. It's just not very exciting when it's just logical and obvious. Sorry, people. That's how it is. So stop the nonsense, all right? Stop the nonsense. That's all I'm going to say. Lloyd says, when they announced it, they were still in life support mode for that game if it ended up not working and they were cutting their bait. Maybe. I mean, that could be it. You know, they're struggling. Maybe they're struggling to get it to work because it's old and just sort of forget it. Who knows? But I think it was, personally, I just think it was a genuine mistake. It just wasn't coming. That's all. Personally, that's how I kind of see it. I don't think it's anything bigger than that or more complicated than that. It doesn't have to be more complex than that. That's it. Quick video. I know, let's do it. I'm going to fire up the giveaway. We're giving away, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving away Hello Engineer. Shout out to John Scars Gaming. We're going to be giving away Hello Engineer. Thank you for John Scars for sorting me out here. So I'm going to fire up. Hope this works. You've got to be subscribed, so make sure you're subbed already, although I think most of you are subscribed anyway. We're going to start the giveaway. Fingers crossed this works. We've put it in there now. Should be exclamation mark raffle. You know the score. Put it in there for your chance to win. Hello Engineer. Hello Engineer. There we are. There we are. It's working. It's working. Hopefully, it'll all be good. But anyway, while that is going on, Michael Richardson. Where's my alert? It's not come up there. Shout out to Michael Richardson because the alert didn't come up. Thank you there for the 99 there. Much appreciated, sir. Much appreciated. Oh, there it is. Bit late. Bit late. Oh, yeah. The raffle people are going. It's working. It's working. Oh, good stuff. Right. Okay. That's good to know. Anyway, so somebody shared a video. I forget, was it Project Storm? No, it wasn't Project Storm. Somebody else. He retweeted it. Shout out to that person. Sorry, I forgot your name. I do apologize. I should have written it down. Anyway, there was a GDC talk about Vulkan and Stadia way back in March 2019. So basically the same GDC effectively that Stadia was mentioned. And then there were some talks, developer talks as well. And one of them was about Vulkan and Stadia and the journey of Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Project Stream and early examples of using Vulkan and stuff like that. Anyway, so I just want to share a little bit from it. Bearing in mind, this is from, over 2 years ago. So over 2 years, March 2019 this was. It's a very old video, but Vulkan, it was on the Vulkan YouTube channel, and they've only just posted it for some reason. So it's very interesting that it's 2 years old, especially because the tech and the tools we know have moved on significantly since then. And I highly recommend watching it if you're into all that kind of Vulkan software programming tech stuff. Even if... Whoa! Consigno! Wow, much... Arigato gozaimasu! Arigato gozaimasu! Hey! Oh, so cool. Anyway, really interesting video about Vulkan, Stadia, the journey of Project Assassin and all of that. Even someone like me, who am I kidding? Not very technical at all. A lot of it over my head, but you can get the gist of what the guy is saying. So it's very technical, but you get the gist of what he was saying. And now I'm only mentioning this small little clip from it because I mentioned it last week, I think, about, or certainly when they announced Rainbow Six Siege, and this sort of myth that exists somehow that, oh, you'll never be able to do PvP, FPS PvP on cloud, the latency's too much, it'll never work. And there's this sort of myth that exists that fails to comprehend that actually, being on the cloud is not a disadvantage for multiplayer games. If anything, a game being in the cloud is an advantage for multiplayer games. And here is an expert in the industry confirming as much. He says, I'm going to get to it. Ooh. So it's just a small bit here. I better listen to this. Let's go plain.
And what's interesting there is that what you would consider as your console, all the processing, the game, it's running in the cloud. And my early Rainbow Six days, actually, I was a network programmer. And when I look at this, it boggles the mind, basically. It means that the instances of my game can communicate between each other when we're doing multiplayer with very low latency and very high bandwidth. These are like data center connections between the different instances of the game. And for the user's bandwidth at home, he's always just sending input and getting a video stream back. Whether there's 10 people, 100, 1,000, it's the same bandwidth for him. So anyway, but we're
So what he's basically saying, and it's something I touched on a couple of weeks ago, what he's basically saying is when you're playing a multiplayer game, there are lots of instances of the game, yeah? And they usually sit locally, like on Billy Bob's Xbox in Kentucky, yeah? On Juan's Xbox in Spain, yeah? On Heinrich's Xbox in Germany and Tommy's Xbox in UK. And the instances of the game have to sort of be shared between all those different local bases. Whereas when you're playing in the cloud, all the instances are communicating within those sort of servers. So, i.e. super, super fast. So there is almost minimal latency in the communication. The only latency exists is then telling everybody at the end, locally, sending that video down, where obviously it's going to take a little bit longer than if it was under your TV. But what makes up that gap is the fact that the instances of the game are communicating within the cloud really quickly, as opposed to waiting for the person with the longest lag, if that makes sense. So just saying, ladies and gentlemen, it's not just me, making it up. I read it somewhere. I heard Digital Foundry talk about this and the online version of Red Dead Redemption, ironically, on Stadia, and how actually, because you're not waiting on other people, because all the activity, all the instances of the game are in the Stadia server, so there's no waiting who's got the longest lag, it's all there within one server, that actually the experience is much better. And here's another guy talking about it, and this is from 2 years ago, and he's sort of saying it blew his mind. He was on the cutting edge of getting Project Steam up and running from Ubisoft's point of view, in terms of getting Assassin's Creed up and running, converting it to Vulkan and the process. And actually, if you watch the whole thing, it wasn't that difficult. And now we know that they've come leaps and bounds, Stadia, in terms of the tools they have. And then with this whole kind of Proton thing that they're kind of doing, which I don't fully understand. All I know is that it will improve the porting process significantly. But even then, things, as I say, back then, things weren't that bad in terms of, converting DirectX games to sort of a Vulkan platform. But it was just interesting that, what he said backed up my kind of thoughts on things. Don't forget, remember to hit the raffle, everybody. We've got loads of people in there. Anyway, so thank him for confirming as much. Sheesh, says Eli. Yeah, Eli. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, I was distracted by Eli. Lovely to see Eli. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I just thought I'd share that anyway. I'll put it in the, I'll put it in the chat later and say, it just mentions something I talked about earlier, and I just thought it was worth sharing again here. How are we doing? Don't forget the old hashtag raffle. Right. Quick chat, shout out. What am I talking? FIFA 22. Just seeing if I have any footage. I don't. Right. So, FIFA 22. So FIFA, EA shared some footage of actual gameplay from FIFA 22, and a number of FIFA players, one in particular I watched, who plays through the story mode. So he admits he doesn't play the kind of online player versus player, plays much more on the story mode element of the game. And he's a sort of a big FIFA YouTuber. And he was saying, he was watching the game footage, and he was just saying how really impressed he is, and the general opinion, again, but within that community, the FIFA YouTube community, is that the game is a big leap. especially the next gen version with the hypermotion. And he was moaning it's a shame that it's not available for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox and all that kind of PC. But he was saying it really made a difference, the hypermotion, in terms of the animations and the way they looked, and the characters looked less janky or robotic when they sort of transitioned from a movement. It flowed better. He felt the game was slightly slower, but he thought that was a good thing. Slightly more realistic, slightly more paced. But that was his view. But generally, overall, he's really impressed with what he's seen of the gameplay footage that EA have released. So check that out. If you look at EA FIFA 22 gameplay, very short, I think it's a couple of minutes, but they've shared some sort of genuine footage from FIFA 22. So well worth checking that out. But it just makes me even more excited for FIFA 22 coming day and date. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, day and date to Stadia, next gen version, and all of that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, get in the raffle. Get yourself in the raffle for a chance to win Hello Engineer, of course. Right. Now, there's some rumours going around about FIFA as well. And they're rumours, so massive pinch of salt, ladies and gentlemen. But the word is on the street, and I don't know what it's based on, but it's just a rumor. So I'm sharing it as that, a rumor, that it might be going free to play. And there is also a rumor that crossplay is coming, which obviously, if that is true, for Stadia would be massive. There we are. Lloyd with the tech. We can rely on Lloyd for the technical expertise there. Exciting. This will be an option for Stadia devs. Absolutely. Eli the leaker. It's out there now. Sonny leaked it. Don't worry. You know, Sonny said, confirmed it today in his video. So you're in good leaking company, as it were. But yes, rumor is FIFA might be free to play later. I don't know if that's because Pro Evo, which is now eFootball, and I was a big fan of Pro Evo. Now I'm into FIFA. I quite enjoy it, actually. But I always was like a bit... Pro Evo is the pure football game. Winning 11, I love the idea of winning 11. I remember buying a cartridge of Winning 11, I think, for the Game Boy Advance in Japan when I was in Japan. And of course, it's called Winning 11. I love that title. Winning 11! But Pro Evo in the West and now eFootball all over the place. And that is going free to play. So I don't know whether the rumor about FIFA going to free to play is sort of mixing that all up. But crossplay, if that is true, would be super extraordinary for FIFA. And I think Sonny from Cloud Gaming knows something about FIFA 22. I was watching a live stream and he said he wasn't sure whether he could say something, whether it was out there. And I just thought, is it that it's next gen and you forgot? We all know that. Or is it something else? But he wouldn't say. Not putting any pressure on Sonny, but I'm saying, people, that boy knows something. That boy knows something. That's all I'm saying. Oh, there we are. Metro Exodus, which looks amazing. Apparently used DXVK. So the DirectX to Vulkan bits, as it were. And Metro Exodus does look great. But anyway, FIFA, Sonny knows something, but he's keeping stum. Just could be nothing. Could be absolutely nothing. I don't know. All right, but we'll have to see. Just want to touch on this very quickly because MM2K shared it and he talked about it a lot in his live video earlier this afternoon. So make sure you check that out. But there was a key piece here. Where is it? So 9 to 5 also featured this as well. So this is about Google committing to being stricter about changing, depreciating cloud or workspace APIs. What's that got to do? What's that got to do with Stadia, Clive? What's that? Well, it's nothing really. Well, it is, but I'll come to it. Trust me. Trust me. So, to paraphrase in this document, they basically acknowledge that, you know, there is this notion that Google kills stuff, yeah? Google kill stuff and, you know, killed by Google, blah, blah, blah. And obviously we know, and I've mentioned it before, that Google or Alphabet as a group are heavily invested in the cloud, in Google Cloud and Google Cloud Enterprise. You know, originally Google's cloud was mostly used for Google's own products. That's why it's so good. Gmail, YouTube, yeah? Whereas Amazon was the sort of the first one to really get out there and sell cloud as an enterprise service for companies and stuff like that. And then Microsoft with Azure. And Google actually were more concentrating on just perfecting cloud for their own services. But now it's a massive push. And they've seen massive growth over the last 2 or 3 years, from being the 4th or 5th global largest to like the 3rd, just behind Microsoft Azure and Amazon now. Massive leaps. They mentioned it in their earnings, Alphabet earnings report, how they're investing heavily in cloud and all of that. But they do admit they need to sort of repair that reputation of Google just giving up on stuff, right? Apparently. But one point there is that they make a point that what they tend not to do, it was in this bit here. Yeah. In all, it says it takes a... We will also work in terms of, we will be notified in 1 year of upcoming, the product will remain the same while Google offer tools and docs to migrate newer versions. So this is the key thing. Our working principle, this is the bit I was looking for. Our working principle is that no feature may be removed or changed in a way that's not backwards compatible for as long as customers are actively using it. If a deprecation or breaking change is inevitable, then the burden is on us to make the migration as effortless as possible. So if something breaks, they have to fix it, but they will not just leave things to die and wither on the vine. But what they're talking about, and they mentioned it early, is that they don't really let things that have paying customers die on the vine. Apps and different things and free services and stuff like that, yeah, they have moved on, evolved them, combined them into other things. So it just made me realize that if you went to Killed by Google and you took off everything there that was not a paid service, yeah, a service that people paid for. So you took off all the free services that Google have adapted, rolled into other things, and all these kind of things, you know, apparently killed, when they haven't really killed them, they've just kind of made them available for other products or improved them or renamed them, whatever. But if you took off all the services that weren't paid services, I bet that Killed by Google site would just have barely anything. I'm curious of it, actually. But it is just interesting. I think that is the benchmark that you need to sort of say. Google tend not to kill off paid services. Yeah, services that people are paying for. They're more likely to kill off free services that have evolved over time and stuff like that. But anyway, now they're really focusing on it, especially with cloud, to kind of repair that sort of so-called reputation with big corporate companies and investors. But I just think it was interesting to note that they sort of say they tend not to kill off paid, you know, products that have paying customers, particularly corporate customers. And it's just worth to bear in mind when you see that old trope, oh, Google kill off everything, you know, what, like Microsoft killed off Nokia, Microsoft killed off Windows Phone, Microsoft killed off Mixer, yeah? Some of those are paid services. But as I say, if you took off all the stuff that's free or evolved off Killed by Google, there wouldn't be much left on there. That's all I'm saying. So it's a bit of a myth overall. There's a big distinction between free apps and paid services. And I think that is often overlooked in those sort of stupid throwaway statements that people make. So shout out to MM2K for sharing that. He went in on it large, MM2K, in his video earlier. Make sure you check that out. And all of that. Right, ladies and gentlemen, before we go Stadia Pro time, start putting... Michelle Parks, I'm happy to see a sale on WWE. Yes. Good. Last chance. So we'll do a last shout out for the raffle. Put exclamation raffle in there. Consider the best thing that happened to Stadia would be bring Stadia under the tech umbrella of Google Cloud. Let me know what you think the advantages are. Consigno. Right. Last shout out there for the raffle. A chance to win Hello Engineer, which is a timed exclusive. Eli, you've already got one, I think, you know. Are you subscribed, Eli? Yeah, you're in there, Eli. Don't worry about it. You're in there. You're in there. Collins is in there. Yeah, he's in there. You're all good. Countdown now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for it. You're going to have to contact me, DM me on Twitter if you win. So I can let you have the game. Hello, Engineer. Oh, I forgot. Gandara, he's in there. Lovely to see. I'm at Clive Illenden on Twitter. Yeah, my name's above the door and all of that. At Clive Illenden. This is the big process because they know there is a myth. Well, you know, some of it's true, I guess, but you just want to, you know. Well, yes. My secret advertisement. Yeah, I didn't even realize I was an advert. So it turns out that because I do videos about meal replacement products and stuff like that, and obviously in return for getting some stuff, I let them use some of my Instagram pictures and stuff like that on their marketing and publicity. It's a win-win situation. And I think they used one of my pictures. So a company called Plenty, who do great meal replacement products. Jimmy Joy, jimmyjoy.com. They do a range called Plenty. jimmyjoy.com. Check it out. In fact, if you use Clive20, I think you get a discount. Can't remember. Check out one of my videos. Anyway, they shared a photograph of me, and in the background is my little altar to Stadia. So all my Stadia controllers there, all neatly piled up in its sort of altar form. Yeah, like where I worship, which is just to the left of me here. I worship at the altar of Stadia. Anyway, it's in the background, and somebody shared it as on Reddit as subliminal advertising sort of thing, you know, accidental advertising of Stadia. But there we go. Shout out for that. Right, we're going to go for it now, ladies and gentlemen. Arigato, Dominic. Thank you. Here we go. Pick a winner. I'm just going to go in there. We're going to pick a winner. Closing entries. Here we go. Closed entries. Pick a winner. Need to be in the chat. Should come up any minute now. Ryan Anderson, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations. Ryan Anderson, say hello in the chat if you're there. That's the way that they go. Come on, Ryan, if you're in the chat. Otherwise, we'll have to pick another winner. Make sure you... yay! Ryan is in the chat. Send me a DM, and if it doesn't accept the DM, just send me an @ Ryan, at Clive Illenden on Twitter, and we'll sort you out, sir. Good, sir. Thank you, Ryan, for entering the raffle. Thank you for everybody. Good work. Good work. Right, Stadia Pro games. Ultra low latency next time. Well, we're a bit stiff there. Are we a bit stuttery? Right, Stadia Pro game time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's play the Stadia Pro game. What do we think? First person who says Arc. They said by the end of the summer, or I guess September could be. Is September, does September count? June, July, August. Are we talking calendar seasons? Are we talking meteorological seasons? End of summer? I think we're going to get packed again. Yeah. Yeah. I think Arc and Control. Oh. Good one. Good one. There, Cloud Gaming Dad. Grime. Yeah, I'm up for Control, Dave. I think Control. That'd be awesome. My kids play that all the time at their mums because they got it on Switch. Oh. Faulkner. I like it. I like your thinking there, Dominic. I like your thinking. Yeah. Bit early for Streets of Rage, isn't it? Bit early for that. Good work, Ryan. Thank you, sir. I will contact you after the show. Make sure you DM me, but if not, just at me. Kill all humans. Outright. Not until it's fixed. I still can't beat the boss level. I sort of had fun with Outriders, but it just lacked, you know. Yeah. Great is free anyway, isn't it? So, Liam, I have a theory about Mafia. I don't think you're totally wrong. My theory about Mafia is that it will be a pro game in September. And that's why there's a delay. My theory is that I think it was launched as a sort of, as a sort of trilogy, all three. I think back in August last year on the other platforms. So I have a theory that there might be a deal that there's a sort of 12-month window before Stadia can offer it as a pro title. And that was the deal that they did with Take-Two. It's just a theory. But which means I think they'd bring it out in September after that 12-month window is up. Which would be really cool if they did. But there we go. You never know. Good one. There's so many choices now. But I think we'll see a new game. Normally we see at least one new game and then some other games that have been out for a while, some indie games. We are due Control. And Control is on every other platform. They're virtually giving it away. I remember I said, somebody's chat, I said, Control is a right tart. That was it on Sounds of Stadia when I was with them. Control is a right tart. That game's been on every platform. Giving it away. Giving it away. Oh. Hey, Mike, who needs Apex Legends with sXDefiant coming? But yeah, I'm over Apex Legends not coming now. It'd be brilliant if it did. On a number of reasons. A, it's an EA title, so that would shut everybody up. I can't see it happening, but it'd be awesome if it did. I love Apex Legends, even though I'm absolutely rubbish. Eli couldn't wait. Yeah, lots of people couldn't wait. I mean, I wouldn't necessarily buy it, but if it came out. FOSS web browser based on Chromium, so you can play xCloud on Stadia. Yeah, well, you can play Stadia on the Xbox, so there we are. But yeah, Mike, I'm looking forward to sXDefiant, to be honest. I think sXDefiant, although it's slightly different, it's not a battle royale. It's a team-based battle royale Apex. And sXDefiant is more like an Overwatch with its sort of move the cargo, defend the flag, gain the ground, that kind of stuff, sort of team-based action and fun, Well, I love Overwatch. Spent a lot of hours in Overwatch. Don't worry about that. Oh my God. Again, not very good at it. I got my kids into it and they surpassed me. I don't know what it is. They're just so much better at these things. Oh, Hitman 3. Would that mean every Hitman has been a pro game? Because the Hitman 2 was, wasn't it? I know Hitman 1 was. Yeah. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Yeah. Anyway, while we're here, why don't we just go over to... Oh, yeah. One thing. Yeah, so my shout-outs are Arc and Control plus one other. Okay? sXDefiant looks good, but like Brink. I'm not familiar with Brink, to be honest, Cloudbusters. I'll have to check that out. Right. So, for my channel members, I usually do some sort of weekly vlog thing just about stuff that I'm doing. Not very exciting. But this week and going forward, for my members exclusives only, I decided to sort of go on a bit of and make it Stadia specific and talk about some of the issues within the Stadia community and what we mean by the Stadia community and what the hell is the Stadia community. What is it? What is it? Anyway, and just putting in some context. And I went on one a bit. I went on one a bit this week, but not enough for me to sort of share out to the public. And there's a sort of reason for that is because I don't want to create unnecessary drama and do the very thing I'm accusing other people of doing it. But I did need to get it off my chest. But I did go in hard. And some stuff may be considered controversial, as I say, hence it's for members only. But there was just one aspect I just wanted to share here with you, as I think it's a great little metaphor. Yeah, it was a little metaphor that I sort of stumbled across when I was ranting in my members exclusive video, and I was going to put it on Twitter, but even that, I just don't want to. I don't want to amplify unnecessary drama, but I'm going to share it here. I'm going to share it with you. And it's something I see all the time within the Stadia community. Let me just play you this thing. A better example would be Stadia seen shoving child. Right, what a bully. Stadia seen shoving child, what a bully. Turns out Stadia was shoving the child out of the way of an oncoming car. Stadia saves child life. That's the actual story, yeah? But those people that were so eager to tweet on a non-story because it had a negative element, they were so eager to tweet it out, they didn't go back and correct themselves and give the fuller picture. Little excerpt I was going to share on Twitter, but I thought, no, I won't. I'll share it here. But I see this all the time within the Stadia community, or a small group of people, which the Stadia community is a small group as well. We are a tiny group, you know, of content creators and people on Twitter who kind of obsess about everything about Stadia. Me too. You know, we're all obsessing and find every bit of news, and you know, we love it. We love it. So myself included, we're constantly looking for Stadia news on Twitter, etc., etc. But we're a tiny group overall, and we sort of forget about that, and therefore things that we think are massive issues and you know, amplified massively within our tiny little group are having no impact beyond that group. If you want to hear the whole piece, you need to sort of be a member. But the point is, when, you know, people jump so eagerly, with such eagerness, jump on a negative story and can't wait and then retweet it without verifying that story, without considering the source of that story, because the juice of that story is so appetizing to them, they can't wait to get it out. And then later down the line, when it turns out that maybe the story lacks veracity, the story was ill-informed, it was incorrect, or actually not the story, that presentation of the story was not the whole picture, those same people don't come back and correct themselves. Yeah, they've moved on, looking for the next negative story. They can, you know, good news story, good news story, Good news story. Where is it? Where's that negative story? Good news story. Good news story. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah? Occasionally they go, oh, I better put a good news story out just to defend myself. See, look, I do share good news stories, but yeah, I don't want to go in a whole rant here, but trust me, I see a pattern of behavior. Paint the whole picture, or put the story in context, or give validity to it. Yeah, that's all I say. It just really riles me, and it was particular. And I didn't want to make a drama out of it, but it was particularly this kind of quoted developer saying the new business model, was terrible, and Google were nagging on their contracts, and it's like, really? I work in the contract business. Agreements evolve, and they evolve usually through mutual agreement. Yeah, because you've got ongoing relationships with these people. You don't want to screw them out. Google aren't introducing a business model that's going to scare people away. Like, just think of the logic. One of the reasons I don't go public with some of these views, as I say, is I don't want to create unnecessary drama where, to be frank, there isn't any drama. Yeah. And I don't want to be the one that amplifies the nonsense. Yeah. The nonsense that's already out there. And part of the video in it, and that little bit I showed you there, and part of the video that, what I go on in my video is about how the Stadia community is obsessed about everything about Stadia. Like me, we're so tiny relative to the bigger picture, the bigger Stadia base. There are 100,000 people who are interested enough in Stadia to be a member of Stadia Reddit. And yet the handful of people on Twitter who constantly, myself included, constantly tweet stories, probably number as many people as there are in this audience. Yeah. 20, 30, 40, whatever. Not that much, tiny, and therefore almost insignificant. In the bigger picture, almost irrelevant. These so-called dramas are just a couple of people having an argument in a packed pub. Nobody can hear them, no one cares, and no one's listening. Yeah? It's just like, oh God. It's like shouting, Kevin, leave him alone, Kevin. Kevin, no, don't. It's not worth it, Kevin. No, I'm going to get him, Sharon. I'm going to get him. No, leave him. Nobody's watching. Everybody's watching the football on the pub or something like that. Nobody's watching the argument in the corner apart from those three people having a little domestic. Yeah, amongst their friends. So, just everyone else is just having a night out, enjoying themselves in the pub, i.e. playing Stadia. That's all it is. Sometimes I just think it's worth some perspective. Yeah? Just thinking about these so-called dramas, There's certain people on Twitter who'll come out and go, you'll never guess what. Like a kind of 1950s washerwoman. I expect to see them with a sort of headscarf, and they're cleaning overall and a fag hanging out there. Oh, leaning over the fence. Oh, you'll never guess what. What? Well, her next door. Oh, what, her? Yeah, that Stadia next door. Oh, what's she done now? Oh, let me tell you what she's done. And they're caveating it before they even tell the news. They're building it up into this kind of big grand thing. It's nothing. It's a non-story. Get out of here. And let's just think about this new business model for Stadia Pro, and Stadia Pro games in particular. A share on 70% of the subs revenue based on engagement. And why is this a win-win? Stadia want to get more games on Stadia Pro. They've said this before Christmas. Either Jack Boother or John Justice, I forget, in an interview said they are focusing more. The feedback they've got from customers, consumers, is that we want more pro. We want more pro stuff, and it's something they're focusing on. Part of that focus is A, making it easier to get games on the platform. B, making the business model sweet to incentivize people to make their games pro. Yeah. They've said this before. And this business model is to encourage that, not scare developers away. Just stop a minute and think of the pure logic of that. Oh, yeah, the business model is going to scare people away. Just think of the logic of that. Why would anyone think that it's a bad thing? Why would Stadia come up with something to turn developers off? I mean, just stop it. Think. Why would they want to do this? The more pro games it has, yeah, the more pro games Stadia has, the more subscribers it can get. The more subscribers it can get, the bigger the pie the developers with pro games will share. The dev shares in Stadia's growth, in Stadia's pro growth, in Stadia's subscribers. Yeah, growth and success. The developer will share in Stadia's growth and success. The more success, the bigger the pie. The bigger the pie, the more the devs will share. The more the devs will jump on. The more the devs jump on with games in pro, the more subs pro will get, the bigger the pie. A beautiful, virtuous circle. Stadia have the data on engagement. Do you not think they're going to show that engagement overall in a generalist way? They'll show that engagement to the developer and publishers and say, look, we're changing our business model. We think it will suit you. It will also suit us. We might, for new developers, but even for old ones going, look, we're introducing this new business model. We would like to update our contracts accordingly. We think it will suit you. We know it will suit us. It's a win-win. It's a virtuous circle. Developers, well, what evidence do you have that engagement is enough to justify, replacing an advance? Stadia have the data. They're going to go, well, here's a nice little deck that we've prepared that demonstrates the sort of level of engagement that on average our pro games get. And therefore, based on an average earning of, the sub pro, you are likely to get this within X couple of months. The dev's going, what? How much? But you're only paying me such and such advance, you cheeky buggers. Yeah, exactly. Our success, says Stadia, is your success. So come with us on this journey. That is probably how the conversation goes. I've had to, I deal in contracts all the time with media companies, and as times change and evolve, you might do a contract with somebody. I do contracts for people, and it's like a 5-year license. Okay. That's, public knowledge. Our contracts are published. So I'm not hiding anything. We publish our contracts for everybody to see, to public. What we don't publish is what we agree, the money, but the basic general terms. And we license programs for 5 years. Okay. Now, 3 years ago, Netflix certainly hadn't altered the business. Maybe 3 years it had. No, it hadn't quite had a dramatic effect on the television industry as it has had in the last 18 months or 2 years, or certainly got major TV companies to pivot their business model, my company included, dramatically. So what that means is that we also have to change some of our contracts because they're no longer quite fit for purpose. And if we don't do it, we as a company will get left behind. It's an existential crisis. But equally, if those independent production companies who we've agreed programs with and licensed, 5 years ago, 3 years ago, if they don't come on board with us, they potentially will get left behind as well because the business model is changing. So it's like, look, we'll make it worth your while because the business model is changing. So this is how you'll benefit. It'll be worth our while as well because it means our contracts will then be fit for purpose. And hand in hand, we can go into the future. Hopefully, everybody's happy. That's the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. That's the way it goes. There is no point in Stadia effectively reneging on contracts because then you really pee off the developers. And to think that that's what they would do, I think is a bit short-sighted. These are paid professionals, companies, strategizers, business people working for one of the biggest companies in the world. They're not hiring idiots. Think about it. They're hiring the best of the best. They hire the best of the best engineers. Yeah? They're going to hire the best of the best business people, strategists, lawyers, developers, those kind of things. Yeah? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I wasn't going to go on the rant, but I did a little bit of the rant there. Full video, available for members only. If you want to join, check down there. It's a bargain, only $1.99, something like that. Before we go, we must shout out, of course, the Summer Community Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Let's call it up. Been going great. Absolutely brilliant. We're into week 2, which is now finished. Pixel Junk Raiders was game 2. If you're not aware by now, this is a chance to win over $1,000, ladies and gentlemen. It's 4 games, 4 weeks, $1,000 grand prize. $1,000, yeah. We're not just giving away a game. We're not just giving away a Stadia Premier Edition. Oh no, $1,000. Thanks to Jack DeSlip, who's kind of put this championship thing together, and MM2K, myself, Vivi, Stadia Hunters, whose site's running, and John Four Scars Gaming, all helping out on this as well to support him, get this done. Week 2 is done, and it was Raiders. Week 3 game, you can see some of the people taking part here. So week 1 was Hitman, which is brilliant. Eli Levi was brilliant. It came second in that. Really close competition. Pixel Junk Raiders was tough. That was a tough one. Yeah, a lot of people struggled with that. So there's still plenty of opportunity to get through to the final because loads of people have not scored that high. If we have a look at the... so that was week 1. It was Hitman. Week 2 is Pixel Junk Raiders. Who can tell what this is? Week 3. It's going to be announced in the next couple of days. Who can tell from that blurred picture? Let me know what you think it might be. It's a good one. It's going to be fun. And the rules should be fairly straightforward. I think it's just get a big score, if I haven't given anything away. Just score highly. That'll be it. Anybody can tell what that blurred picture is? I'm not going to say what it is, but, you know. Anyway, we can have a look at the leaderboard here. Each week you accumulate points. So you've got week 1 points here, week 2. And the winner of each week automatically goes to the final. So you'll see loads of people haven't scored yet. You've got week 1 here scores. Where is he? Solder Q35 won here, the Hitman one. But he didn't take part in Pixel Junk Raiders, so overall he's in 8th place. Yeah. Male Sir here is in 2nd. And Ninja Guy is in 1st currently. And so a small selection of that, I forget how many, I think like 16, will go through to the grand final. There'll be a grand final, which will be a big playoff. So there's still chance to join in. You can sign up here, register, log in. All we ask you to do is sort of pick a time where you could stream the game. You need to stream the game live using, of course, the brilliant Stadia tech. So no pressure on your own resources in terms of tech or CPU or whatever. You just use the direct streaming functionality that's built in. Give us your URL of the stream, and then we'll have content creators commentate. And you can see some of those commentaries of previous attempts here. And it's basically like a sports show. And we sort of cut between different people's runs and say, meanwhile, let's have a look at what Eli's doing. And sometimes content creators will stream their own efforts and stuff like that. It's really a lot of fun. Check it out. And there's going to be a big winner in a few weeks. So make sure you check out that. StadiaHunters.com Summer Championship. Well worth it, ladies and gentlemen. If you haven't joined, still plenty of time, an opportunity to win prizes. The winner of each week. I'm going to leave that there so you can try and guess the title. The winner of each week gets $100. Second place gets $50. And the winner of each week automatically goes through the final. And then a large group of people go for the final for a big playoff as well for the $1,000. It was tough. It was tough, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, one of them looks like Orcs Must Die. Interesting. Floor kids. Interesting. Interesting. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'll let you ponder that. Yeah, as they say. Let's keep that there. I'll let you ponder that. Once again, well done to Ryan for winning the prize draw. Let me know if you think I should be doing more giveaways and stuff like that. It's quite fun. I quite like having a raffle. It's quite fun. Maybe we'll have one for the, show 75 or something like that. Who knows? Thanks to everybody who's been in the chat. Massive thank you to all the new subscribers. Massive, massive thank you to everybody who donated some chat today. Super chats. Really, really appreciated. Arigato gozaimasu. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Don't forget, Rock Reveal. He'll be waiting anxiously for the Stadia blog to be on time. I think it will be tomorrow, 5 p.m. UK time. 5 p.m. UK time, Stadia blog, usually anticipated in or around that time. Rock Reveal usually does his show there as they wait for the Stadia blog. Should be out because the Stadia Pro titles. Fingers crossed it's a title you want. Fingers crossed it's a bumper edition blog post. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being here. Arigato gozaimasu. Hey, let's do this again. Same time, same place next week. Cheerio, my friends. Cheerio.